The assembly will come to order. The chief clerk will call the roll.
Assemblywoman Anderson. Assemblywoman Benitez Thompson. Assemblywoman Bilbray Axelrod. Assemblywoman Black. Assemblywoman Brown May. Assemblywoman Carlton. Assemblywoman Cohen. Assemblywoman Considine. Assemblywoman Dickman. Assemblywoman Duran. Assemblyman Ellison. Assemblyman Flores. Assemblyman Frierson. Assemblywoman Gonzalez. Assemblywoman Gorlow. Assemblyman Hafen. Assemblywoman Hanson. Assemblywoman Hardy. Assemblywoman Howdigi. Assemblywoman Kasama. Assemblywoman Krasner. Assemblyman Levitt. Assemblywoman Martinez. Assemblywoman Marzola. Assemblyman Matthews. Assemblyman MacArthur. Assemblywoman Brittany Miller. Assemblyman C.H. Miller. Assemblywoman Monroe Moreno. Assemblywoman Wynn. Assemblyman O'Neill. Assemblyman Ortlicker. Assemblywoman Peters. Assemblyman Roberts. Assemblywoman Summers Armstrong. Assemblywoman Thomas. Assemblywoman Titus. Assemblywoman Tolles. Assemblywoman Torres. Assemblyman Watts. Assemblyman Wheeler. Speaker Pro Tem Yeager.
Here. Assemblywoman Benitez Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. May the record reflect that we have 41 members present, and Speaker Frierson is absent excused.
The record will so reflect. Please rise for the prayer by Father Thomas Babu from St. Teresa of Avila Catholic Community, Carson City.
Good morning, honorable members of the State Assembly. Happy to lead you in prayer this morning. Almighty and eternal light of the world, you are the good shepherd. You love justice and you establish peace on earth. We bring before you the scourge of a pandemic, the economic devastation it has caused, and the disparity and the division we face in our state. Teach us to be compassionate towards the whole human family, regardless of race, gender, economic status, or religious beliefs. Help us to value the dignity of the human person and the sanctity of the human life in all its stages, from conception to natural death. Strengthen the will of those who fight for justice and truth, and bring a healing hand upon us all. Give our people the peace that the material world cannot give, but it can only be found in your loving embrace and tender mercy. We pray for our healthcare workers as they continue to provide the best healthcare to all peoples, especially the poor and the marginalized. As for the leaders of our great state, help them to be servant leaders. Guide them to seek not power or fame, but the courage and humility to serve all members of our great state of Nevada. Grant them divine wisdom in making decisions and laws to promote peace, justice, and the common good. Bring this legislative body together for the improvement of our state and its peoples in fairness and equality. While the global pandemic has caused much anxiety and suffering, let our people be a beacon of hope and a sign of peace as we heal our divisions and work together to end the pandemic. Finally, guide us with your wisdom as we navigate with hope and faith in these troubled times. In the holy name of our Creator, we pray. Amen.
Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll go to order of business 2, reading and approval of the journal.
Carson City, Thursday, February 11,
Mr.
2000.
Speaker Pro Tem.
Assemblywoman Benitez Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I move to dispense with further reading of the journal and authorize the Speaker and Chief Clerk to make necessary corrections or additions.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. We'll go to order of business 8, motions, resolutions, and notices.
Assembly Resolution 4, introduced by the Committee on Legislative Operations and Elections, providing for the appointment of an additional attaché for the Assembly.
Assemblywoman Miller.
Thank you, Speaker Pro Tem. I would like to make a motion to read and adopt Assembly Resolution 4 for the purpose of the appointment of an additional attaché for the Assembly.
Assemblywoman Miller has moved to adopt Assembly Resolution 4. Any further remarks? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. The resolution is adopted. Go to Order of Business 9, Introduction, First Reading, and Reference.
Assembly Bill 120, introduced by Assemblyman Black et al. An act relating to business exempting businesses that have gross revenue below a certain amount from their requirement to obtain a state business license and providing other means properly laid thereto.
Assemblywoman Cohen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I move that you refer AB 120 to your Committee on Revenue.
Without objection, so referred.
Assembly Bill 121, introduced by Assemblywoman Cohen, an act relating to elections requiring the Secretary of State to allow an elector with a disability to register to vote and a registered voter with a disability to request and cast an absent ballot using the system of approved electronic transmission established for certain uniformed military and overseas voters, setting forth certain requirements for such an elector or registered voter to use the system of approved electronic transmission and providing other measures properly laid thereto.
Assemblywoman Miller.
Thank you, Speaker Pro Tem. I move to refer AB 121 to the Committee on Legislative Operations and Elections.
Without objection, so referred.
Assembly Bill 122, introduced by Assemblyman Torres et al. An act relating to education establishing a program to award grants to support virtual pre-kindergarten programs and providing other measures properly laid thereto.
Assemblywoman Bilbray Axelrod.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I move that AB 122 be referred to your Committee on Education.
Without objection, so referred.
Assembly Bill 123, introduced by Assemblyman Howdiggy and Yeager, an act relating to special license plates, imposing additional fees for the issuance and renewal of the special license plates, indicating support for the Vegas Golden Knights hockey team, requiring the distribution of the additional fees to the Vegas Golden Knights Foundation for certain purposes and providing other measures properly laid thereto.
Assemblywoman Monroe Moreno.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I move that AB 123 be referred to your Committee on Growth and Infrastructure.
Without objection, so referred.
Assembly Bill 124, introduced by Assemblyman Duran et al. An act relating to employment, prohibiting employers from discriminating against employees on the basis of sex by taking certain actions relating to the employment opportunities of an employee, prohibiting an employer from seeking or taking certain other actions relating to the wage rate history of a prospective employee, requiring an employer to disclose the minimum wage rate, wage scale, or salary range for a position of employment under certain circumstances, providing remedies and administrative penalties, and providing other measures properly laid thereto.
Assemblywoman Howdiggy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Temp. I move that we refer Assembly Bill 123 to your Committee on Commerce and Labor.
Without objection, so referred. And just to confirm, I believe that was Assembly Bill 124.
Correct, Mr. Speaker Pro Temp, Assembly Bill 124.
So Assembly Bill 124 will be referred to the Committee on Commerce and Labor.
Assembly Bill 125, introduced by Assemblyman Duran et al., an act relating to offenders, allowing certain offenders convicted of Category B felonies to have credits deducted from the minimum term or minimum aggregate term imposed by a sentence and providing other matters properly laid thereto.
Assemblywoman Wynn.
Thank you, Speaker Pro Tem Yeager. If we could refer this to, I'd move to refer this bill, Assembly Bill 125, to your Committee on Judiciary. Man, I struggled with that.
Without objection, so referred.
Assembly Bill 126, introduced by Assemblyman Frierson et al., an act relating to elections, providing for a presidential preference primary election, setting forth requirements and procedures for holding a presidential preference primary election, and providing other measures properly laid thereto.
Assemblywoman Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I move that we refer Assembly Bill 126 to your Committee on Legislative Operations and Elections.
Without objection, so referred.
Assembly Bill 127, introduced by Assemblyman Dickman et al., Senators Bach et al., an act relating confidential information authorizing a peace officer or retired peace officer to obtain a court order requiring a court recorder to maintain certain personal information in a confidential manner and providing other matters properly relating thereto.
Assemblyman Flores.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Temp. I move that Assembly Bill 127 be referred to your hardworking Committee on Government Affairs.
Without objection, so referred.
Assembly Bill 128, introduced by Assemblyman Roberts, an act relating to scrap metal, authorizing payments for purchases of scrap metal with a value of $150 or more by a scrap metal processor, additionally to be made by means of a voucher or debit card, which may be redeemed for cash at an automated teller located on the premises of the scrap metal processor's place of business and providing other means properly relating thereto.
Assemblywoman Howdigy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Temp. I move that we refer Assembly Bill 128 to your Committee on Commerce and Labor.
Without objection, so referred.
Assembly Bill 129, introduced by Assemblyman Roberts, an act relating to elections revising the thresholds for a committee for political election to open and maintain a separate account in a financial institution and report contributions and expenditures, requiring a committee for political action to report the balance in its bank account at the end of a reporting period and providing other matters properly relating thereto.
Assemblywoman Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I move that we refer Assembly Bill 129 to the Committee on Legislative Operations and Elections.
Without objection, so referred.
Assembly Bill 130, introduced by Assemblyman Flores et al., Senator Donate, an act relating to insurance, requiring insurance companies to offer the option of covering certain medical expenses and policies that cover motorcycles, requiring the amount paid by an insurance company for the coverage of certain medical expenses resulting from the crash of a passenger car or motorcycle to be based on the usual and customary charges for the locality where the medical expenses are incurred, clarifying that certain provisions for the reduction in the premium paid for a motor vehicle insurance policy do not apply to motorcycles and providing other matters properly relating thereto.
Assemblywoman Howdigy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Temp. I move that we refer Assembly Bill 130 to your Committee on Commerce and Labor.
Without objection, so referred.
Assembly Bill 131, introduced by Assemblyman Flores et al., Senator Donate, an act relating to peace officers, revising provisions requiring certain peace officers to wear a portable event recording device under certain circumstances and providing other matters properly relating thereto.
Assemblyman Flores.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Temp. I move that Assembly Bill 131 be referred to your hardworking Committee on Government Affairs.
Without objection, so referred.
Assembly Bill 132, introduced by Assemblyman Flores et al., Senator Donate, an act relating to juvenile justice requiring the electronic recording of an interrogation of a child under certain circumstances, requiring a child to be represented by an attorney under certain circumstances, requiring a juvenile court to presume a child is indigent for the purpose of appointing an attorney to represent the child, directing the Juvenile Justice Oversight Commission to review and study the effects of certain provisions relating to juvenile justice, and providing other matters properly relating thereto.
Assemblywoman Wynne.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I move that we move AB 132 to your Committee on Judiciary.
Without objection, so referred.
Assembly Bill 133, introduced by Assemblyman Flores et al., an act relating to peace officers, requiring a law enforcement agency to provide training to peace officers in approaching and interacting with a person who is openly carrying a firearm, requiring all uniformed peace officers to wear a portable event recording device while interacting with the public on duty and providing other matters properly relating thereto.
Assemblyman Flores.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Temp. I move that Assembly Bill 133 be referred to your hardworking Committee on Government Affairs.
Without objection, so referred.
Assembly Bill 134, introduced by Assemblyman Matthews et al., Senators Bach and Hammond, an act relating to elections, revising provisions relating to voting by absent ballots or mailing ballots, revising provisions relating to the verification of absent ballots and mailing ballots, revising the procedures for counting absent ballots and mailing ballots, revising provisions relating to assisting a voter complete an absent ballot or mailing ballot, prohibiting certain persons from returning an absent ballot or mailing ballot on behalf of a registered voter, repealing provisions related to voting by mail ballot and conducting certain elections affected by a disaster or emergency, providing penalty and providing other matters properly relating thereto.
Assemblywoman Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I move that we refer Assembly Bill 134 to the Committee on Legislative Operations and Elections.
Without objection, so referred.
Assembly Bill 135, introduced by Assemblyman Hardy et al., Senators Hammond et al., an act relating to animals, revising provisions governing access of animals to certain places, requiring a place of public accommodation, a common carrier, a common motor carrier of passengers, or other means of public conveyance or transportation to post a sign, providing certain information to patrons or passengers concerning such access, providing civil penalties, and providing other matters properly relating thereto.
Assemblywoman Howdigee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Temp. I move that we refer Assembly Bill 135 to your Committee on Commerce and Labor.
Without objection, so referred.
Assembly Bill 136, introduced by Assemblywomen Bilbray, Axelrod, and Cohen, an act relating to intercollegiate athletics, adopting changes promulgated by the Uniform Law Commission to the revised Uniform Athlete Agents Act 2015 relating to prohibited acts by athlete agents and providing other matters properly relating thereto.
Assemblywoman Bilbray Axelrod.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I move that we refer AB 136 to your Committee on Education.
Without objection, so referred.
Assembly Bill 137, introduced by Assemblyman Ellison et al., an act relating to elections requiring with certain exceptions proof of identity for voting in person, requiring the requirement of motor vehicles under certain circumstances to issue voter identification cards at no cost and providing other matters properly relating thereto.
Assemblywoman Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I move that we refer Assembly Bill 137 to the Committee on Legislative Operations and Elections.
Without objection, so referred.
Assembly Bill 138, introduced by Assemblywoman Martinez, an act relating to public assistance, revising provisions relating to the eligibility of certain convicted persons for public assistance and providing other matters properly relating thereto.
Assemblywoman Wynn.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I move to refer AB 138 to your Committee on Health and Human Services.
Without objection, so referred.
Assembly Bill 139, introduced by Assemblyman Yeager et al., Senator Scheibel, an act relating to local governments authorizing the governing body of a county or city to transfer money from certain enterprise funds to pay the cost for constructing a fire station and providing other matters properly relating thereto.
Assemblyman Flores.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Temp. I move that Assembly Bill 139 be referred to your hardworking Committee on Government Affairs.
Without objection, so referred. We'll now go to Order of Business 13. Unfinished business of the preceding day, signing of bills and resolution. There being no objection, the Speaker and Chief Clerk have signed Assembly Bill 106. We'll now go to Order of Business 15. Assemblywoman Hardy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. Today we celebrate President's Day. Since the Uniform Monday Holiday Act of 1971, we celebrate President's Day as the third Monday in February in honor of all presidents, but particularly because of George Washington, who was born on February 22nd, and Abraham Lincoln, born on February 12th. George Washington served as a Virginia delegate to the Second Continental Congress in Philadelphia. He was appointed as Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army on June 14, 1775, which serves as the birth of the United States Army. Washington's strong leadership presence and fortitude held the American military together, leading an exhausting and arduous armed rebellion from the English crown that dragged on for 6 years until he finally forced the surrender of Lord Cornwallis at Yorktown. He was instrumental in keeping our young country together, halting the Newburgh Conspiracy, and ratifying our Constitution. One of his greatest displays of power was his surrender of power. I offer this body a few words of encouragement from our first president as we guide our state through these difficult times. The harder the conflict, the greater the triumph. Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem.
Thank you, Assemblywoman. We'll go next to Assemblywoman Wynn.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I would just like to acknowledge that tomorrow is Mental Health Awareness Day within our legislature. In these unprecedented times and often isolating times, more Nevadans have reported negative impacts on their mental health, and those that are already suffering from mental illness or substance abuse are experiencing new barriers. I, like many others in this body, have witnessed the new challenges firsthand with my own mother, who is bipolar. I know it's been a struggle for her, and I know it's been a struggle for many people that are in this legislative body as well. Mental illness has no bias and can affect friends, family, and ourselves. And in fact, it's estimated that more than 400,000 of our constituents live with some type of mental health condition. As tomorrow is Mental Health Awareness Day, a key organization I'd like to highlight is the National Alliance on Mental Illness, or NAMI, a grassroots mental health organization dedicated to improving the lives of Nevadans affected by mental illness. They are working to advocate, support, and educate those living with mental health conditions, as well as supporting the friends and families of those impacted. If possible, consider turning into their Mental Health Awareness Day streaming event tomorrow, happening from 9 to 10 a.m. or 1 to 2 p.m. I also remind my colleagues that in each and every action that we take, we must prioritize the full health of our citizens, including their mental well-being. Thank you.
Thank you, Assemblywoman Nguyen. Any other members for Order of Business 15? Assemblywoman Benitez Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. Seeing no other business before us, I would move that the Assembly adjourn until Tuesday, February 16th at the hour of 11:30 a.m.
Assemblywoman Benitez Thompson has moved that the Assembly stand adjourned until Tuesday, February 16th at the hour of 11:30 a.m. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. We are adjourned.